From Victory Field in Watertown, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Tonight, it's the Blue Sox with a record of 12-6, third in the ICL, visiting the Watertown Reds with a record of 13-7, first in the ICL. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. And if you wonder why in a 9-team league, you don't play just each team 4 times to have 32 games, and instead we have a 28-game schedule, well, this is why. With all the rainouts the teams have had, Blue Sox, you need to, as many days as you can to get in, make up games, and here's what the Blue Sox have in front of them. 9 games in the next 10 days, including a game a day, Sunday through Wednesday, starting tonight here against Watertown, a team they've beaten twice, with those first 2 games coming at home, and a 2-1 victory in which the Blue Sox needed 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th to win, and then a 9-5 walk-off victory with Ross Curley's grand slam capping the comeback. But with the Blue Sox taking a tough one against Melrose the other night, the phrase has got to be used, sense of urgency. With still 10 games to play in the next 2 weeks to basically determine your fate for the playoffs. You gotta come correct, and against a very tough team in the Watertown Reds, who have historically given the Blue Sox fits. It's going to be important to get a win tonight to start off this tough stretch to end the season. Aaron Barboza is going to lead it off for the Blue Sox, who take the field wearing the navy blue jerseys with the red shoulders, letters and numbers, and white pants, and the blue and red cap. And they will face Watertown starter Matt Horan. Horan comes into play 6-0 with a 1.41 ERA. 44 2/3 innings, 28 hits, 13 runs, 9 of which are earned, walked 7, and struck out 48. The first pitch at 7:33 is a called strike according to Glenn Cole, and it's 0-1. Glenn Cole calling the balls and strikes, and our old friend Sam Finn working the bases. This is grounded up the middle, knocked down by the diving shortstop Brennan, but he'll eat it, and that'll be a leadoff base hit for the speedy Barboza. Will Brennan, of course, one of the premier offensive players, and showing off good range there to prevent it from going into the outfield, but with Barboza's speed, it was going to be a tough play anyway. So on an 0-1 pitch, Barboza is aboard, and that'll bring up Ross Curley. So Barboza will build on his .480 average. He's now hitting 13. He's actually now hitting exactly 500, 13 for 26 with that base hit. And Ross takes ball 1. Ross coming into play batting .277, 2 homers and 8 RBIs. Is 0 for his last 7, and he snaps that streak right there with a solid base hit to left. So a good start to the ball game for the Blue Sox. Back-to-back base hits, and here's Taylor Ferguson, the center fielder. Ferg, .343, 1 double, 1 triple, 1 homer, and 6 RBIs. Of course, Ross just reaching, as I mentioned, the walk-off grand slam against the Reds in their last meeting on July 2nd. And Ferg hits this one into center field. Back goes Levine. He will make the catch. Tagging from second and going to third is Barboza. Curley thought about a daring run to second, but he holds up, so it'll be 1 down, and runners at the corners. Blue Sox hacking early in the count here. 5 pitches through the first 3 batters, and here's Dan Graham. Horan comes set, and the pitch. Taken for strike 1. Graham at 143 with 1 RBI this season, 1 for 7. He grounds this one to the right side. Could be two. Scooped up by the second baseman for one. On to first. It is in time for a double play, and the side is retired. So how about that? Back-to-back base hits on 4 pitches, and then 3 more pitches, and the inning is over. A 4-6-3 double play, and there goes that Blue Sox rally. After half an inning, it is the Blue Sox nothing and the Reds coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left in an inning that took just 7 pitches. So the full Blue Sox lineup, you saw the first 4 batters. Aaron Barbosa in right field, Ross Curley at short, Taylor Ferguson in center, Dan Graham the DH, Justin Silvestro is at second, Thomas Russo is at third, Manny Del Carmen is in left, John Putras is behind the plate, and Josue Feliciano rounds out the lineup at first. And leading them onto the field for the bottom of the first is the left-hander Alcis Herrera. Herrera making his 3rd appearance of the season and first start, 2 1/3 innings, 1 hit, no runs allowed, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Here's the Watertown Reds lineup he will face. Kyle Levine's going to lead it off in center field, followed by Mike Samko at third. Will Brennan is at short. Logan Gillis is at second. Dan Chasen is the DH. Jake Miller is behind the plate. Sean Callahan Montague is at first. Steve Tramontozzi is in left, and Ben Johnston rounds out the lineup in right. Herrera in 2015 against the Reds in the regular season was 1-1. Pitched 12 innings, allowed 9 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and 19 strikeouts in those 12 innings. It's part of his first season with the Blue Sox. Herrera facing Watertown for the first time this year, and here's the speedster Kyle Levine. Levine entering play 404 with 2 doubles, 4 triples, and 8 RBIs. Reds have 5 different players with at least 10 RBIs. And he smokes this one to left, but out of play and foul for strike 1. I always allude to Levine's insane 30 steals in 30 games season in 2015. But he had a considerable drop-off after that. Will draw walks at a very good rate and keep that on-base percentage above 380, over 400 at one point. Misses 2-1. But last 2 years, he hit 226 in 2016 and 274 in 2017, but he's putting up a solid year this year, batting .404 and has drawn 14 walks. Levine fouls that one off, and it'll be 2-2. The Reds are one of the best teams in the Intercity League at drawing walks. 3rd in that department with 65. Second in the league in on-base percentage is a team at 378. As that misses 3-2. That'll bring up Mike Samko, Samko career .366 hitter, and this is 5th season with the Reds, as that's fouled off for strike one to even the count. It's tied his career high in extra base hits this year in just 15 games. Also his first career home run this year. 1-1 the count, and the pitch is lined into center field, and this will get down. Takes a funny hop on Ferguson, but it'll get it back into the infield, and the Reds have their first base runner of the ball game on a one-out single. So that'll bring up Will Brennan, a perennial MVP candidate for the Reds. Having a little bit of a more tempered season this year than normal. .333, still drawing a ton of walks, 12 of them. No homers, 17 RBIs, but 6 doubles and 1 triple. Brennan, a career .328 hitter in 7 seasons with the Reds, as he smokes this one into right field. A good bluff by Barboza to prevent Samko from advancing. But now it's back-to-back singles for the Reds. Hopefully we will not have to deal with any delays on the game or in this broadcast with any possible rain coming. But just in case, time to bring up the umbrella. Here's Logan Gillis, the second baseman. He's having a breakout year. .388, 20 RBIs. Near the top of the leaderboard in the Intercity League. And he takes strike one. Gillis has hit 6 doubles and 3 triples. He's got an OPS of exactly 1,000. This is chopped to the left side. Curley on a hop to second for one. On to first. Safe. That was about as close as the turn on Graham, but this time the Reds get the call. Well, the Reds get the call in both in the field and play. So the fielder's choice goes 6-4. And it'll be runners at the corners, 2 out for Dan Chasen, the designated hitter. Chasen, a longtime member of the Reds and still contributing at .385 with 4 doubles, 3 homers, and 15 RBIs. And the pitch. Fouled into the screen for strike one. Jason's posted at least 300 average in each of his last 3 seasons, including exactly 300 the last 2 years, and well on his way to another 300 season here, but he's behind Herrera, 0-2. Hit a career-high 5 home runs in 2012, and has had a high water mark of 21 RBIs twice in 2013 and 2015. Herrera with the 0-2, grounded to the left side and foul. The rain has stopped spitting for now. Hopefully it stays that way. Lights are on here at Victory Field. The 0-2 again from Herrera. Runs up and in with the fastball. Samko at third, Gillis at first with 2 out. Here in the bottom of the first, Blue Sox had first and second, nobody out in the top half of this inning and could not score. Runner goes, the pitch is lined and caught in the lap of Curley for the out that retires the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. After 1 complete, Blue Sox nothing, Reds nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. And we go to the top of the second with the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up. Justin Silvestro, Thomas Russo, and Manny Del Carmen. Just 7 pitches in the top of the first for Matt Horan, 5 for strikes. So the Blue Sox will try to work his count a little bit here, with Silvestro to lead things off. Silvestro, 297, 9 RBIs. And he fouls this one off. Might have gotten a piece of Glenn Cole there. And it's strike 1. It's humid, it's cloudy. And as I said, there's more rain anticipated in the forecast. 77 degrees right now. Barely any wind at all. Cool off the players and the fans in this humid night, as this is down the first base line and foul as Callahan Montague fields it in foul territory, and it'll be 0-2. Well, an at-bat that goes longer than 3 pitches. We haven't had that for a Blue Sox batter. Longer than 2 pitches, even, I should say. Haven't had that for a Blue Sox batter tonight. But here's Silvestro, albeit behind 0-2. He gets this one into left field. Back goes Tramontosi to the wall. It's out of his reach, and it's off the fence. Silvestro is on his way to second. He will get there with a stand-up double. So, for the second straight inning, the Blue Sox get the leadoff man aboard. Now, can they capitalize? Here's Thomas Russo, the third baseman. Russo hitting .305 with 4 doubles and 6 RBIs as the rain begins to pick up again. And time is called as Miller is going to go out to have a word with Horan. There were 3 other Intercity League games today, but they were all rained out. But they play on grass fields. With turf, you have a little more flexibility, but it's not immune to the rain delays. As this is grounded to the right side, it'll be fielded by Callahan. It'll step on first, and a 1-pitch out. Silvestro advances to third as the rain starts to pick up even more. And, if we have to abandon the broadcast, we'll keep you updated and see if you can't continue on Periscope or whatever. Here's Manny Del Carmen as he takes inside ball one. Del Carmen, a .214 hitter with 1 RBI, and he scored 3 runs. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-1. Horan delivers. Swing and a miss at a pitch down and away, and it's 1-2. John Puttress on deck. Infield in here with the runner at third and less than 2 out. And it's just barely fouled off by Manny. Horan comes set, and the 1-2. Swing and a miss. 2 down. And the Blue Sox in danger of squandering another runner in scoring position. It'll be up to John Puttress, who comes into play batting .176, 3 for 17 with 2 RBIs. And Putty takes all the way strike one. Silvestro led off the inning with a double. It was the 3rd hit of the game already for the Blue Sox, but they don't have any runs to show for it. Putty fouls this one off, and that makes it 0-2. Silvestro still at third. Infield back. Putty just wants to hit one right back up the box here and bring home that first run of the ball game. He'll foul this one off, and it remains 0-2. Putty facing Reds pitching for the first time this year. Check swing, and he went around, says Glenn Cole, for strike 3, second strikeout of the game for Horan, and the Blue Sox leave another runner in scoring position. They've left 2 runners. They've had 3 hits and still no runs to show for it. After 1.5, it is the Blue Sox nothing and the Reds nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. "18 pitches in the bottom of the first for Alcis Herrera, 13 for strikes, as he got out of a mini jam. I mentioned the term sense of urgency. Blue Sox really should have to play like There's playoff seeding on the like a playoff berth is on the line here. Gotta really come through in the clutch. There have been some frustrating losses to this season, and it's been just a wacky, unpredictable season in general for the Intercity League. Here's Jake Miller, the catcher, and Miller takes outside ball 1. Miller fouls this one off to even the count at 1. Miller coming into play batting .309 with 6 doubles, 2 homers, and 12 RBIs. Herrera delivers, and it's swung on and missed for strike 2. Swing and a miss. 1 down as Alces picks up his first strikeout of the ball game. That'll bring up the veteran Sean Callahan, batting .143 with 3 RBIs. He's playing in just the 7th game this year. Long-time slugging catcher for the Reds, but has dealt with injuries the past couple of years. Missed the entire 2017 season. And he says this year is going to be his last in a Reds uniform. It'll be the last chapter in what was certainly a Hall of Fame career for Sean Callahan Montague. As he fouls this one off, 2-1. Callahan had 8 doubles, 2 triples, 3 homers, and 23 RBIs in 2013. As he grounds this one to the left side, Curley has it. He'll fire on to first, and there are 2 down. So that'll bring up Steve Tramontozzi, the left fielder. Tramontozzi batting .189 with 1 RBI, 10 hits in 53 at-bats, 6 runs scored. As that hits the inside corner to Tram for strike 1. The rain resumes. As the pitch misses outside, 1-1. Swing and a miss, tied him up inside, and it's 1-2. One-two pitch, check swing. They'll appeal, and he did not go, says Sam Finn. I was for sure that Cole was going to ring him up, but they appealed to Sam Finn, and he said Tramontozzi held up. So 2-2 now. And this is fouled off. So now we'll have a little bit of a battle here. Tramontozzi gets an extra life. That's a called third strike, and that'll retire the side. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Alcis Herrera, and after 2 complete, it is still the Blue Sox nothing and the Reds nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram, BlueSox_ICL. We go to the top of the third with the 9-1 and 2 hitters due out for the Blue Sox: Josue Feliciano, Aaron Barboza, and Ross Curley. Sway will lead things off. He's batting .192 with 1 RBI, picked up his first extra base hit of the season in Friday night's loss to Melrose. As that pops off the mitt of Miller for ball 1. And another thing about the whole sense of urgency narrative for the Blue Sox, with their loss to Melrose the other night, as that misses 2-0, it means that for the first time since the records were kept online, the Intercity League website, the Melrose Americans have won the season series with the Lexington Blue Sox. Sway wanted to go after that one. Held up, but it was called strike 1. And it's 2-1. He fouls this one straight back, and that'll make it 2-2. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left for the Reds. No runs, 3 hits, no errors, 2 left for the Blue Sox. Swing and a miss, and Sway's down on strikes. Third straight strikeout for Haran. And there's one down as the lineup turns over for Aaron Barboza, who got this game going on the right foot for the Blue Sox with a base hit on the second pitch of the top of the first. Of course, he was stranded on base after an inning-ending double play. As that's outside for ball 1. Blue Sox need this win against a good opponent to set the tone for this big stretch of games coming up. That stretch begins tonight as that's upstairs 2-0. 10 games in the span of 13 days, including 4 games in 4 days starting tonight. There'll be a doubleheader against Reading next Sunday, although that was on the schedule to begin with. Now, there are only 3 games the Blue Sox have had to make up, but they're all bunched in together here these last 2 weeks of the season. Up and away, 3-1 to Barbs. Barboza with his base hit bumped his season average up to 500, although it doesn't qualify for the league leaders with the limited plate appearances he's had. Full count now. Ross Curley on deck. Horan, as you've seen, working exclusively from the stretch. And the payoff pitch. This is lined right to the second baseman, Gillis, for out number 2. So I'll bring up Ross Curley. Ross 1 for 1. Singled on a 1-0 pitch. Back in the first. Trying to keep the line moving as both teams searching for the first run of the ball game. First pitch ball to each of the first 3 batters here this inning. Swing and a miss. Pitch down and away from Ross. One and one the count. And Ross comes up empty there, 1-2. Blue Sox with a win would pull even in the win column with the Reds for first place in the ICL, and of course have 2 games in hand on them in the loss column. And that hit him. Ross barely even flinched, and he's on his way to first with a 2-out hit by pitch. I'll bring up Taylor Ferguson. Ferg flew out to center his first time up. The first pitch he saw in the first. Blue Sox doing a better job working the count here these last couple of innings. As that jackknifes Ferg for ball 1. Only 7 pitches thrown in the first and 13 in the second. Throw down to second, and the pitch is a ball, and Ross Curley has a stolen base. So Ross picks up his first stolen base of the year, as that's in there for a strike, but it was dropped by Miller. No advance by Ross. 2-1. So for the 3rd straight inning, the Blue Sox have a runner in scoring position. Now can they convert? 2-1. This is into right center field, and this is going to be a diving. It's out of the reach of the right fielder, Johnson. It's going to roll a long, long way. Ferguson is on his way to third. He will be waved around third by Rick DeAngelis, and it's going to be a home run. If there's a fence out there, Ferg has a triple at most. But there isn't, and it turns into an inside-the-park home run for Taylor Ferguson, and the Blue Sox are on the board first. It's 2-0. So let's see what Dan Graham's got for an encore after that one. And that's upstairs for ball 1. So Ferguson picks up his 2nd home run and 7th and 8th RBIs of the season. Joins Ross and Julian and Richie Burgos in the multi-home run club for the Blue Sox. 1-1 the count now to Grammer. Graham knows a thing or two about clutch home runs. And this is grounded between the first and second baseman on the right side for a base hit. So the hit parade continues for the Blue Sox. And after 2 outs and the base is empty, we haven't seen one of these kinds of rallies in a long time for the Blue Sox, but hit by pitch on a 1-2 count nonetheless. No less by Curley, then the home run by Ferguson, and now Graham with the single. Let's see what Justin Silvestro can do as he takes ball 1. Stroh takes down and in, ball 2. Horan looks at first, comes set, and comes home with it on the outside corner. 2-1 to Stroh. Up and away, 3-1. Horan 6-0 this season. Only time he took a no decisions. This is into left field, and this will be caught by the left fielder Tramontozzi for the out that retired side. Only time he didn't get a win was a no decision against Reading on July 8th, but for the first time facing the Blue Sox this year, Horan is now down 2-0. Blue Sox 2, Reds nothing after 2.5. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of this or any past LSP video broadcast, or one of several different designs of bumper stickers. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store or the LSP Facebook page after the game to place your order. And remember, all orders within the continental United States come with free shipping. That was a workload for Horan in that third inning. 27 pitches, only 14 for strikes. He's thrown 47 pitches through 3 innings. His workload more than doubled in 1 inning. In fact, it's pretty much doubled by innings. 7 in the first, 13 in the second, and now 27 in the third. So the Blue Sox get Alcis Herrera some runs. See how we'll attack the 9-1-2 hitters in the Reds lineup: Ben Johnston, Kyle Levine, and Mike Samko. Johnston batting .264 with 1 triple and 3 RBIs. And this is popped up. Curley calling for it in shallow left. 1-hand catch, 1 pitch, 1 out. And the lineup turns over for Kyle Levine, who grounded out to second on a 3-2 pitch in the bottom of the first. Levine playing against the Blue Sox for the first time this year. As that's down and away for ball one. Good fastball for strike one. Blue Sox were one of the few teams that could contain Kyle Levine in his big 30 steal and 30 game season in 2015. He batted .250 with 3 runs scored and 3 walks in 3 games. That's fouled off. Levine at 11 steals this year. And that's good for second in the ICL behind Ethan Harris of Malden. Goes between Putty's legs there, and it's 2-2. Blue Sox want a shutdown inning here from Herrera after grabbing the lead. Of course, that involves the tough task of keeping the speedster Levine off base. And he's not just some slap hitter who will beat out infield singles. So he can drive the ball. Just missed inside. 3-2. A guy who draws that many walks should know where that one is. Full count to Levine. Samko on deck. The payoff pitch just missed. Ball 4. And Levine draws a walk. Completing a 7-pitch at bat there. And let's see what the plan is on the bases for Levine with Samko at the bat. Samko represents the tying run. And he takes strike one. Levine with a small lead at first. And they'll throw over, and he's back safely. Herrera comes set. Runner goes. The pitch is low. The throw down to second is bobbled. And they thought they got Levine after he slid off the bag. Curley bobbled the ball, so he was safe initially. But then Curley said he got him after he slid off the bag. And that's the danger with this all-turf infield. Rick DeAngelis, who used to manage Sam Finn, now going to go out and have a word with umpire Sam Finn to see what they can do here. And no change in the call. That's such a tough call because you see the shortstop Curley bobble the ball, and you think, okay, well, there's no way he's gonna. Then there's absolutely no way he can be out. But Curley said he got him after he came off the bag, sliding through. So runner in scoring position with 1 out for the Reds and a 1-1 count. And the pitch to Samko is in there for strike 2. Alcides Herrera got noticed by the Cleveland Indians organization after pitching for the Blue Sox for a year and a half. And he's back here in a Lexington uniform. And time is called, but Alcides was going back towards second rather than coming home with it, so it's not a wasted pitch. Levine at second. 1-2 the count to Samko. And the pitch popped up. And Russo leaps to try and get into the batting cages, but he won't come up with it. It's pretty good ups to get on top of that fence. Obviously, he didn't get all the way on top of his feet on the rail, but yeah, he was able to look in. So it remains 1-2. Herrera was ahead of Levine 1-2, couldn't put him away. What will he do with Samko? And he gets him to swing and miss there for strike 3, and there are 2 down. Third strikeout for Herrera, and here is Will Brennan, the dangerous Will Brennan who singled his first time up in the first. And time is called as Matt Karras is going to go out to have a word with Herrera, see how to attack one of the best all-around hitters in the Intercity League, Brennan. Brennan, no home runs, but 17 RBIs and a .333 batting average. Last year, 6 home runs, 29 RBIs, batted .350. It's really been the last 2+ years that Brennan has really come into his own as one of the elite hitters in this league. Batted .229 as recently as 2015. As that's on the outside corner for strike 1 to Brennan. Was a solid RBI man 2013 and 2014, about .372 in 2013, but under 300 in 2014. Didn't hit his first career home run until 2015, but has really found the power stroke recently, as this is grounded, diving knockdown by Silvestro, and great heads-up base running by Levine is going to give him the run. So that'll be an infield single, an RBI for Brennan. And that'll bring up Logan Gillis with the tying run now at first base. And Gillis checks his swing, but it's strike 1 anyway. So Herrera having to sweat a little bit. Approaching 20 pitches in the inning. This is grounded to the left side and foul for strike 2. Brennan at second has good speed. Only one stolen base this year, both 7 for 7 last year. Tried to back foot him there, but it's 1-2. One run and 1 hit in the inning for the Reds. As that just missed, and it's 2-2. Kind of hard to figure out Glenn's strike zone right now. And the 2-2. Check swing. They'll appeal, and he did not go, says Sam Finn. A full count. Blue Sox, Herrera having a hard time getting these strike calls. So Brennan will be off with the pitch. Lengthy inning for both pitchers here in the third. And the payoff pitch runner goes. The pitch is inside, ball 4. Second walk of the inning by Herrera. And now that puts the tying run in scoring position for Dan Chasen. Chasen lined out to short, his first time up, ending the first. A little bit of a shift here, as Chasen takes on the outside corner, strike 1. Already approaching the hour mark in this ball game. It's only the bottom of the third. This is grounded to second. Curley will soft toss to Silvestro, and Gillis nearly beat it out for the out there, but it is the out that retires the side. The Reds get 1 run on 1 hit and leave 2. After 3 complete, Blue Sox 2, Reds 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. LSP's next broadcast is tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox visit the Andre Chiefs. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. Six, seven, and 8 due up for the Blue Sox here in the top of the fourth. Thomas Russo, Manny Del Carmen, and John Puttress. And Russo takes strike 1. Russo grounded out to first, his first time up in the second. As he lines this one the other way, but foul, and it'll be 0-2. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 3 left for the Blue Sox. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and 4 left for the Reds. Haran comes set, and the 0-2 is swung on miss, a high one. And there's 1 down. 4th strikeout for Haran. And there's 1 down for Manny Del Carmen, who was the first strikeout victim for Haran back in the second. Haran is second in the ICL in ERA at 141, as that's up and in for ball 1. He leads the league in wins. Just behind him is his Reds teammate Worth Walrod. He leads the league in innings pitched at 44 2/3. 1-1. And he's tied with Jared Frenny for the most strikeouts. Also with Paul Covelli of Somerville in that department. Manny comes up empty, and it's 1-2. Manny just barely gets a piece of that one. Horan also leads the Intercity League in whip at .784, so he might be the leading candidate for pitcher of the year in the Intercity League. 2-2. But right now, he's trailing the Blue Sox 2-1 here in the top of the fourth. So we have just now hit the hour mark. Down and away, full count. John Puttress on deck. And the payoff pitch. Inside for ball 4. No, it's... Oh, wow. I thought that was inside, but it's called third strike. Wow, okay. Wow. That jackknifed Manny. He backed out of the way. And that'll be strikeout number 5 for Horan. And that'll bring up John Puttress. But he struck out swinging to end the second his first time up. And he grounds this one to the left side, scooped up by the third baseman Samko. On to first, and a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Horan and the Watertown Reds. After 3.5, we're halfway home. It is the Blue Sox 2 and the Reds 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email Sam at localsportsproductions.com for more information. One change for the Blue Sox as we begin the bottom of the fourth. Dominic Zaire. He lays there in left field for Manny Del Carmen. Jake Miller to lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth. And Miller takes up and away ball 1 from Alcis Herrera. Miller struck out swinging leading off the second his first time up. And he fouls this one off to even the count at 1. Reds threatened to tie the game last inning, but only got 1. This is grounded to short. Curley has it, fires on to first. High throw, pulls Feliciano off the bag. That'll be an E6. And the leadoff man is aboard for the Reds. And Sean Callahan, the first baseman, coming up next. He grounded out to short his first time up in the second. Talked about his accolades and how this is going to be his final season in the Intercity League this year. He takes ball one. He said of his performance this year, as I was talking to him before the game, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat, but never discount his abilities to come through in the clutch. 2-0 the count to Callahan. He's in a good hitter's count. Classic untucked back jersey of Callahan. He's in a good hitter's count. Potentially drive one and tie this game. He can. That's down and in, 3-0. And now Puttress going out there to have a word with Herrera as there's now action in the Blue Sox bullpen. Three 3-0 the count to Callahan. And he takes strike one. John Puttress knows how to call a game. One of the best defensive catchers in the league. Gets Alcis back at the count there at 3-1. But they lose him there. So it's now first and second. Nobody out. And Steve Tramontozzi coming to bat. This is a potential sacrifice situation. As Matt Karras comes out to the mound to have a word with the entire Blue Sox infield. So here's Tramontozzi. He struck out looking to end the second. Much different situation here, though. Tramontozzi has one sacrifice hit this year. That might come up to two here as he does begin to square. Feliciano going to third! And Curley stays on the bag. Feliciano just sprinted in to make that scoop and throw. So that play goes 3-6. Tramontozzi still squaring after Feliciano came sprinting in. That's kind of a surprise. Feliciano takes advantage, gets the lead runner Miller, and now here's Ben Johnston. He popped up to short, leading off the bottom of the third, and he fouls this one straight back for strike one. Haven't had a hit this inning. We've had an error, a walk, and now a fielder's choice. First and second, one out, and an 0-1 count to Johnston. As that's outside, 1-1. Change-ups away. That's when you gotta Or to get a ground ball in this situation, lefty on righty. And this is skied into center field. Ferguson going back. He reaches up. Oh, he made the catch. Had to reach back a little bit to make that play. But now there are two down. And the lineup turns over for Kyle Levine, who came back from down 1-2 to work a walk, steal second, eventually score what is thus far the Reds' only run last inning. With runners already on base, the infielders don't necessarily have to go to first to get the out on the speedy Levine. And he swings and misses. Alice blowing that one by him for strike one. And still no hits in the inning. First and second, two out. As that's, wow, that's called a strike by Glenn Cole. That looked a bit outside, but it's 0-2. The 0-2 to Levine. Fouled off. .70 pitches now through 3 2/3 for Alcis Herrera. Swing and a miss, strike three. Alcis just unloads on that fastball right there and picks up his fourth strikeout of the ball game. No runs, no hits, one error, and two left. And after four complete, it is still the Blue Sox 2 and the Reds 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. One run, 3 hits, no errors, and 6 left for the Reds. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 3 left for the Blue Sox as we begin the top of the 5th. Josue Feliciano, Aaron Barboza, and Ross Curley due up. Feliciano struck out swinging his first time up, wants to bunt his way on, and pulls back and takes strike one. He's going to swing and line it into right field for a base hit. So Sway is 1 for 2, and that brings up Aaron Barboza, who is also 1 for 2. Singled in the first, lined out to second in the third. Good speed at first in Feliciano. Good speed at the plate in Barboza, as that's ball one. Popped out of Miller's mitt temporarily. 1-0 the count. Barboza takes ball two, 2-0. On the outside edge for strike one to Barboza, 2-1. So far, the difference in this game is Ross Curley getting hit on a 1-2 count, followed by an inside the park home run by Taylor Ferguson. 2-1 our score here in the top of the fifth. Barboza wants to bunt his way on, and he fouls it off, so that'll make it 2-2. The Blue Sox got their two in the third. The Reds got their one run in the third as well. Blue Sox have left 3. Reds have left 6. And Barboza takes low, ball 3. Full count to Barboza. We'll see if Feliciano might run here. Blue Sox look to extend their lead. He does run. The pitch is fouled off. Blue Sox picking up their 6th hit of the ball game, leading off this inning with Feliciano. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat upcoming to Barboza. Horan looks at first, comes set. Throw over to first, and they did not get him. That was a late break back to the bag by Feliciano. He's lucky he didn't get rung up. Horan comes set. Another throw over to first, this time no tag. Callahan keeps it close for a moment, and now he does a little joshing with Sway. Former teammates, as Sway used to play for the Reds. And that's outside, ball 4. So first and second for Ross Curley. Ross 1 for 1, singled in the first, hit by a pitch, stole a base, and scored in the third. Wants to bunt, gets it down the third base line. It's a good one. It's fielded by Samko on to first, and the sacrifice is successful. The sacrifice goes 5-4. So Feliciano at third, Barboza at second, and now here comes Joe Chiodo with Taylor Ferguson, who has the big blow in this ball game, a 2-run home run, coming to bat. So the infield comes in, second and third, 1 out. And the pitch to Ferguson. It was a good one to hit, but I guess he was taken all the way there. Strike 1. Horan hoping to keep this a one-run ball game. Down and away, 1-1. Ferguson picking up his second RBI, second home run, and 7th and 8th RBIs. Back in the third on his home run to right. It's an opposite field drive, and again, if there's a fence out there, it stays in the park, but there isn't. As that's fouled off, and that'll make it 1-2. Dan Graham on deck. There appears to be a right-hander warming in the Reds bullpen. Horan comes set. Big pitch looming here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And he gets revenge. He picks up his 6th strikeout, does Horan. And now it'll be up to Dan Graham to try and capitalize on this opportunity. The Blue Sox have had a base runner in every inning except the 4th. In fact, they've had a runner get into scoring position in each of those instances. Strike 1. And again, they haven't been able to really blow opponents out of the water this year like we're used to. As Graham skies this one to left field, towards the line goes Tramontozzi, and he makes the catch for the out that retires the side. The Blue Sox had first and second, nobody out, second and third, one out, and do not score. After 4.5, it is still the Blue Sox 2 and the Reds 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon, LSP37, Snapchat, LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. New pitcher for the Blue Sox is Borja Jones-Bersaluthe. And Borja making his 5th appearance of the season, 0-1 with a 7 ERA, 4 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 of which are earned, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Coming off a scoreless inning of work against Wakefield on July 8th. And he's got his biggest assignment of the season here, as he will deal with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in a 1-run game, as that's fouled off for strike 1. So the night ends for Alcis Herrera after 4 innings, allowing 3 hits, 2 walks, as this is knocked down by Feliciano, and he'll step on first for the out, 1 down. We'll give you the full line on Alcis in a little bit, but here is Will Brennan. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI. And Brennan takes strike one from Borja. More action behind Borja in the bullpen. Looks like Nick Godfroy. The pitch. Fouled off, and it's 0-2. Foul tipped into Putty's mitt for strike three. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Will Brennan. And that brings up Logan Gillis. Gillis reached on fielder's choice in the first and walked in the third. And he takes ball one. Blue Sox need some insurance, and they'll have the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up in the top of the sixth. As this is into center field, in comes Ferguson, and he is going to let it drop in front of him. I thought he was going to come in a little bit more to try and make a play, but it's going to be a 2-out single, and that puts the tying run on first for the Reds, with the power-hitting Dan Chasen due up. And now Joe Chiodo is complaining about something, and I'm not sure what exactly it is. Rick DeAngelis is coming out. I think they're saying they have some sort of peripheral that they don't like about it might be the compression sleeve. It's Borja's compression sleeve on his right arm that they think is distracting. Okay, so they made Borja take off the black sleeve. So runner at first, 2 out for Dan Chasen. And Chasen grounds his one to the left side. Russo has it. Will fire on to first. It's a high throw. Oh, and he's safe. The throw was high. I thought Feliciano came back down and tagged Chasen. There have been a few high throws tonight to first by the left side of the infield. Rick DeAngelis not happy. Should have been an inning over there. Instead, it's an E5, and now it's Jake Miller. Miller is 0 for 2, struck out swinging in the second, reach on air in the fourth, and Miller takes ball one. Well, the first two were retired with ease, and a single and an error. Tying run 90 feet away for the Reds. Down and away, 2-0. The final line on Alcis Herrera, 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 71 pitches 46 for strikes as that's fouled off, and it's 2-1. It's probably going to be Borja's last batter regardless, as Godfrey is almost ready in the Blue Sox bullpen. Sean Callahan, Montague on deck. 2-1 to Miller. And the pitch. Grounded up the middle, and it's through for a base hit, and this game is tied. So a couple of tough calls against the Blue Sox. And we start all over again here in the bottom of the fifth. Going to leave Borja in, actually, for the right-hander Callahan. That'll be an unearned run. Miller picks up the RBI. Here's Callahan. Comes up empty there for strike one. Blue Sox are ruining their missed opportunities offensively. And they've had a runner in scoring position in every inning except the fourth. They only have 2 runs to show for it, and now they're tied with the Reds. Swing and a miss by Callahan, and it's 0-2. Callahan 0 for 1 with a walk. So Alcis gets a no decision. And the go-ahead run for the Reds at second. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here, Matt Carciel, let's wake up to the offense. As Sean Callahan Montague not happy swinging with that pitch. So we go to the top of the 6th. We start all over again. It's the Blue Sox 2 and the Reds 2. This is Blue Sox Baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL.